do it because that eliminates like having to call or like coordinate anything with any of her friends, and I can just be like, yo, come by at this time. Like it'll be after we like I do it, but we'll have a bash.
Am I gonna need to edit some of this out?
No.
No.
Well, it's reason why is because I later found out that when I was asking my guy about like how long it would take, he goes, it's gonna take more than 4 weeks. I was like, oh. I was like, well.
Oh, so then I can't do it.
Yeah. And I was like, well, there goes one idea out the window. So.
Oh, okay.
Not the worst part, but.
You should be like, you definitely didn't propose on my birthday.
Right.
Like, did you black out and I don't know what's going on?
Well, and that's like so I told her this, like, I was like, one of my ideas was going to be this upcoming weekend when all your friends are there, but I won't have the ring in time. And she goes, well, when would you have done that in the night? I was like, well, I would have done that earlier in the night, like right when things started happening. So you do remember that, oh yeah, I got engaged.
And we don't get into a fight and then I ask and you're like, go fuck yourself.
Correct. Or like she somehow loses it because then if she would be engaged then at that time with her birthday and her friends, who knows where the slippery slope of
sip of whiskey's always tough.
I
was trying to hold that in and listen to you talk. My God, Lord.
Do you like bourbon?
Yeah, I love it. It's like the first
face. The face tells.
No, it's the first 2 sips, and then it's like, all right, this is water.
That's true.
Also, I'm exhausted, and usually when I'm like drinking during the day, it's not just straight bourbon.
Right. I mean,
my body is like, this is not what you're supposed to be drinking right now.
Right. When I texted you, I was like, I want bourbon. Bourbon's my really go-to favorite drink. I usually don't drink bourbon at 4 o'clock on a Saturday.
No, I actually not usually. I never drink bourbon on a Saturday. Or not on a Saturday, but 4 o'clock. That's why I like have this lined up. I'm like, we'll see how many I can do.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case. I have Braxton's PBR from yesterday.
Nice.
Coos' Miller Lite and Truly's are just like a safe bet, I think.
Yeah.
They're always here.
Doesn't hurt to come stocked. The reason why I texted you to get on this podcast was.
Oh, you're gonna ask her on here?
No, that'd be amazing.
For me, not for her.
Well, right. I mean,
she's not even here.
Well, you would have to delay bringing this out until like I give you the go ahead.
I could do that. I could easily do that.
I mean, you could, but I don't think like she's too interested in like listening to how long.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way.
Can you listen to like
Shout
at least
out.
45 minutes of this episode?
Right.
We talk about you for like 2 seconds of it, but like those 2 seconds are really important.
Yeah, but he also needs viewers and listeners to make it through those 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So at that 46 mark, then we can do it. Just so you have to listen to what we have to talk about.
Good Lord. That would be fun if you did. That would be, I can't decide what would be worse. Cody getting it tattooed on her body or you proposing to your girlfriend on here. This would just be I don't know what would be happening.
Why would that be worse?
And just like not worse, but like just crazier things that have happened.
I mean, I heard that you're starting an OnlyFans with. Well, she has an OnlyFans for feet.
For her feet, yeah.
I heard about that. But
yeah, continue. Sorry.
Initially, I was listening to your Tending a Lisp.
Yeah.
That podcast
with Braxton. Yeah.
With Braxton.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it'd be fun just like shoot like you and I. We have pretty good.
It's easy talk. Easy talk.
We have good banter back and forth. And I'm just listening to this and like all the stuff that you guys are saying. I was like, that sounds like interesting, like fun to do. Just like sit, talk about nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And I actually made a list of things to talk about.
Oh fuck yes! You are more prepared for my show than I am.
Do you know how many things I have on my list?
If it's like 2,
it's 1.
It's 1.
I made it on the way here just because I saw. So I went to the liquor store with this, and the thing I put in my phone was Wisconsin's weird.
Yeah.
Reason being, I came out of the store. First guy I saw coming out of the store was in like short sleeves, shorts, and flip flops. All right.
It's Wisconsin spring. It's 40.
Right. It's 40, 50 degrees. Okay. Second guy I saw was in a winter coat, jeans, and boots. So, like, which guy are you and which person do you want to be at this time of year? Because it's weird. Because you can be, like, the guy who's, like, I'm ready, I'm jumping in on spring, I'm putting all my winter clothes away. Whatever the weather is, this is what I'm wearing. Or are you like a late bloomer that I'm going to keep some clothes because I know what Wisconsin is?
Well, I don't even own a winter coat. I'm a layers kind of guy. So it's like 4 spring coats. So I'm always ready for spring.
I can't do layers.
Like I'm like sweatshirt and then a coat over the sweatshirt. Like my winter outfit would be this with the spring coat over it. That's my. Okay. It could be -30. I'm like, I'm bundled up.
That's fair.
Also, I'm fucking freezing. It doesn't work.
Right.
But no, I'm definitely. It warms up as soon as I can have nicer, like less clothing on, the better.
Right.
For me.
And then I mean, even then, I had my windows rolled down today.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know which guy I am either because I'm sweatpants, sweatshirt. Like,
well, it's also
I'm also a
coat guy too. It depends on the day too.
I'm also a coat guy too.
If it was sunny right now, I probably wouldn't have the sweatshirt on. It was like it's a huge difference with the sun.
Well, it was. I went golfing earlier today and it was sunny all day.
Yeah, it was super
and it was
warm.
50. It was like 50, 52 with a slight breeze, and I had a Under Armour and a pullover and pants, and I was fine. But like I was still like a little warm. Mm-hmm. Because of the sun.
You're in between. Do I take this Under Armour or do I'm always like, yep. I always have golfing this time of year. It's shorts and like sweatpants like this. And by like hole 8, I'm at the start of every hole. I'm like, I think next hole I'm taking the pants off. And then you get in the cart and it's a little breezy and you're like, I think I'm good. And you get to the top and you're like, I think next hole I'm taking my pants off.
That's what it is. It's the cart.
Yeah.
The cart plays tricks on you because like you get the breeze and you're like, oh shit, it's kind of, Can I swear in this thing?
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Ooh.
I don't care.
But, like, the cart plays deception on you because you get the breeze and you're like, all right, it's pretty cold. But then, like, you're out there standing still then and you're like, okay, now I'm warm. What you need, remember those zip-away pants?
Oh, yes. I definitely need to get those zip-away pants. I got to find some that fit.
You should bust those out on the golf course.
I don't think I haven't owned a pair of those. I remember thinking those things were the coolest things in the world. You go to recess.
Yep.
That was when your parents would be like, you're wearing pants. You're past the school. It's like, I'm like, but it's gonna be warm later. Like, oh, it's cold now because parents are always like, oh, I'm not getting out of my car. It's like, well, if you get into a car accident, have a sweatshirt kind of thing.
That's exactly.
And so that's what the zip out pants. Yeah. So when you get to recess, you're like, fuck you, parents. I'm ironing here, and you just unzip them. It could be like 35 degrees, but it's sunny.
Don't care.
The sun is very warm here, I think. Well, Wisconsin warm, I guess.
Whatever that is.
It's deceiving again. We're not used to seeing the sun, so when we do see it, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, you're like, let this happen all the time.
I want every part of my body to absorb this as much as I can.
That's where I feel like most Wisconsinites are.
Yeah.
That once, I mean, April, you're still kind of like iffy, but May, like I feel like once May hits and you see that first like sun,
May could be
all the winter clothes are packed away. You are full on spring, summer, and you're all in.
To be honest, April, I think my clothes are kind of packed away. Once I start playing, like when sports started up again, like when I played lacrosse in high school, I was like, all right, spring's over, or not spring's over, winter's over.
Right.
We just have cold spring days now. That's what it is.
True.
Like it's spring, your shorts, t-shirts, long sleeve sweatshirts.
Until
we're starting bonfire season kind of thing.
Until winter 2.0 comes in.
And then you get like a May 10th snowstorm and you want to put a bullet in your head.
Right.
Oh God, that was like school's about to end, summer's coming. It's like we just got 2 inches of snow.
Yeah, you're like,
It's gone the next day and it's 70 degrees on the weekend. But it's like, what was the point of this?
Why?
I hated it. Like, it's a very bipolar state when it comes to weather. I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know what this was. Probably my sophomore year of high school. Went to prom with an upperclassman. We had all 4 seasons in one day on that prom day. It snowed, it rained, and then clear skies, like for summer, and then it was like 50 out.
Just like, yeah, you went spring, winter, summer, fall.
It's just like, why?
Kind of a weird order, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting. I forgot there was some girl from our high school still on Snapchat, and it was she was taking pictures outside her apartment, and it was like, I don't know where. I think I was in Denver a few weeks ago when this happened. I was like, check this out. It was snowing, and it said 11 minutes ago. And then the next one, it said 11 minutes ago, but it was sunny. And then it said 10 minutes ago, and it was cloudy. And then it said 9 minutes ago, and it was sunny again. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here in Milwaukee?
What the fuck?
I'm like, how does that happen? Unless they were like, she took them at separate times and uploaded them like one after the other, which I don't think anyone is gonna think to do. I'm like, let's really fuck with someone today.
Yeah. Who's not in Wisconsin?
Exactly.
Like,
but
let's really show how.
But it's also it's true. It happens so quickly, and I mean I'm okay with it when it snows and then it's gone by the weekend, and I can golf then. Like it snows Monday, 4 inches, but by Saturday like I'm in shorts.
Right.
But when it's the other way around,
yeah,
it's like
it's just
on. It's a tease.
From cold to hot, I can do. Like when it's cold and then it's warm out.
Drastically hot, yeah.
But when it goes the other way, like warm to like, okay, now you got my hopes up.
Yeah.
And then you go to cold and you're
blue balls is basically what it is.
Which
common theme, I guess, on this fucking show. Jesus Christ, Nashville and blue balls talked about a lot on here. It's this actually see, I also do you prefer it on ice? I took a guess.
So I've been a lot of different ways. Well, I mean, there's really only 2 ways you can drink this, either neat or on the rocks.
Yeah.
But I've been back and forth. And then I got into a deep, dark hole on Facebook with Facebook videos, just scrolling through about...
I'm glad someone else watches Facebook videos because I think Braxton made fun of me. He's like, why are you on Facebook so much? I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice. They're longer form videos.
I don't post anything. Facebook for me is only remembering whose birthday it is, just in case, like, if I need to say happy birthday to someone. And
I usually don't click on that notification until like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, I've gotten to a routine, like when I wake up, by the time I wake up, it gives me that notification of whose birthday it is, and then I can do it, and then they can whatever.
Mine too. I just don't even click on it.
I'm also have to get rid of all my notifications on my phone.
Same.
I hate having...
Do you have to close all your tabs?
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
It's a little OCD, but it's like I feel like it needs to be clean.
It has to be clean. But so for Facebook videos, I mean, you can get lost in those for hours.
They don't end.
They don't.
You ever gotten to the end of one?
No.
I have.
What time did you get that at?
It just stopped. You just don't scroll anymore. I'm like, oh shit. And then what's awesome is the first video you click on, and then you go through that feed. When you get to the end, and you're watching videos about like snakes hatching their eggs, and you close it, and it started with like a video of stand up. You're like, how the fuck did I get here?
Right. It's like, how does one recommended video lead to this and lead to that and lead to that?
I mean, I give it was like a joke about snakes, but it was like, it could be a joke about ice cream. Then all of a sudden I'm watching that guy that's building shit in the woods for 45 minutes. And then we've all seen that guy.
The guy with
the homeless guy.
He doesn't look homeless.
Not the homeless guy. Oh, the caveman. I want to talk about this too.
He has a very manly beard, like very outdoorsy.
If Jason Momoa went and lived outside for the rest of his life.
But he's not that big though. But he has the beard.
Are we talking about white beard?
I don't know.
We're not. I don't actually think we're talking about the same guy.
All I've seen of this guy is like people send him like things to like make. And one of them was like a spoon or something that he absolutely hates
makes
making.
Out like a gourd. Yep. Oh,
yeah,
yep.
Out of wood. He's always in a beanie with long hair and long beard.
Yep. Yes. I'm gonna look him up right now. Caveman. I know it's a TikTok thing. I don't have TikTok though. Yeah.
And that's another thing that I can get lost into as well.
This guy?
Yeah, that guy.
No, okay, not Jason Momoa. Who's the guy that's married to Sofia Vergara?
Nope.
He was in Magic Mike. Haven't seen that yet either.
You haven't seen Magic Mike?
No.
I saw Magic Mike. Channing Tatum got me to see Magic Mike.
I haven't seen it.
I
love movies.
Channing Tatum is a celeb crush.
Tell me, this could be the same person if he just let himself go.
Yes.
Joe.
Who is that?
Manganiello. I don't say that. Manganiello. Sure, something like that. He looks like that's who I think of.
Manganiello.
Something.
Close.
Joe. Good looking guy.
Good Joe.
Guy. Joe.
Good Joe.
He looks just like Joe.
He does.
If Joe let his hair go white and grew out his beard, that's exactly him.
And lived in the woods for.
To be honest, they could be related.
Very much could be.
But that guy, I had this like on my list of things.
And now I realize where you guys go off in your tangents because we started with whiskey, or bourbon and ice.
It's easy. It's so easy.
So easy.
I also like my mind goes everywhere, but this because
That's
I
why
like
that's
would
why
take
you and I are bad for this.
I would take screenshots of stuff occasionally. Like, I want to somehow work my way into this, but I never want to bring it up unnaturally. The fact that this came up naturally, I'm so fucking excited right now.
Let's go for it.
What in your life drives you? I think he truly enjoys what he's doing.
Absolutely, you have to.
And for like people who don't know it is like he legit like will find rocks, go get like not hay but like tall grass, and he has a blanket and his dog and put the hay down, then a blanket so the heat doesn't get absorbed from the ground, blah, blah, blah. He stays warm.
Right.
Like, I've learned a decent amount of stuff
He's showing you how to survive.
Exactly. But what drives you to go just start doing that? Because I don't think he was raised like that.
You look at Bear Grylls, even though he cheated because he'd get
like granola bars
snuck to him.
Yeah.
But then there was also...
by the way, who fucking cares?
Right.
I got dropped on a mountain and it was like 6 feet of snow.
Well, I just want to
give me a goddamn granola bar.
I just want to feel for the camera crew because
Yeah.
they have to go through everything he does.
And don't have the skills.
Correct. So he's like surviving for 3 people because he needs to find some food.
Actually, can you imagine being Bear Grylls and like, cause they all have food, and
Right.
he's like,
Guys.
no shit. He's like, give me a granola bar. Like it's been 4 fucking days. I've had
Please.
bugs, bear shit, and leaves. All right, give me the chocolate chip out of your granola bar. I don't give a fuck.
Did you see what I ate last week?
They're sitting there like they have a fire, but like gasoline to light it and shit like that. He's sitting there just.
I'll be over here in my tent. Not even a tent.
Not even a tent. He just
A
like builds
little
like an
teepee.
igloo,
A
and
little
he's half
teepee.
naked.
A
Yeah.
little teepee.
But yeah, what drives you to the point where like I'm gonna go do that?
But there's also that one other show on Discovery Channel, Survivor Man. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of it. I think I've seen an episode.
So the difference between those two and, I mean, I don't know what this Joe lookalike
Mention
does. Yeah,
It's probably a really easy name to pronounce.
probably
that we're
is
butchering.
very much. But Survivor Man, so he actually survives like for a week. Like he's dropped just like Bear, but he just survives and they'll come pick him up.
Is he
Bear
the guy
has
that
to
has
go-
moves his own cameras?
Yes.
Okay, then I know exactly what you're talking
Bear has to, he's dropped and then he has to go find civilization, I believe.
about. Yeah.
So Survivor Man, he's like literally out there by himself because he's moving the cameras,
Yeah.
having to gain all of his food and everything like that. So I have no idea because there's not a chance in my world or realm that I'd be like, yo, fly me on a helicopter, middle of nowhere, drop me off, I'll survive.
Then find me. Yeah. Like
Why? Like, you know where I am. Come get me. I'll buy you a drink. We can move on with our lives.
I can't imagine. Oh, this happens all the time too. Say it. Go ahead. Say your line.
Well,
Good morning.
at least the car isn't there.
Oh, you haven't listened to every episode then, because the car starts just about every other episode.
Well, I've
This is the longest he's taken to get back into the fucking house.
You know, I purposely went this way because I wanted water.
We don't have it out of the faucet.
he needs to make his guest appearance.
Every time he just walks this way, goes morning. It could be 7 o'clock at night. Morning. Make T-shirts that just say morning and in the back of Andrew's face or head. Where were we though? The
First tangent or a second tangent?
no. I still want to know because.
What drives?
But okay, one, I want to know what he did before he chose
Like
this.
how he
How
got to that
often
point?
is he doing this? Like, is this he has a 9 to 5 on the weekends? He lives like this is his vacation. Like some people go camping, he goes
Right.
camping.
Right. Just on the weekends.
Or is this just how he lives? I mean, because he clearly has
Internet.
cameras, internet. I mean, you can easily leave the backyard that he's in
Right.
or whatever and go to Starbucks, upload it, and go.
I mean, for him, I don't feel like he's like necessarily. I haven't seen his whole setup, so I don't know if he's like actually has a camp or house, hut,
Yeah, I don't
whatever it
know
is.
either.
But I feel like with his videos, they're more informative. With if you are ever in the situation and you happen to stumble across my video, this is what you can do in this situation if you ever find yourself.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily his intent. I mean, I think maybe initially it was. Now with people like, hey, can you make this? Can you make this? He goes, yes, I can make this.
Yes. Now
Like,
it's just to show him or show
show
whoever
off
it is
his skills.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are in the middle of woods, one, That's the other thing too. Like these survival videos, when people need them, they can't access them.
Right.
Like I don't know how many people are like in the
Their
middle of
phone's
the
always
woods. Hey,
dead.
let me get my phone real quick. Let me see this.
Yeah, let me
caveman guy.
Google.
Hey, this can of soup. I don't know how I'm gonna eat it. I need to make a spoon out of a gourd real quick. Like if I could look all that up, I could have called my Uber out of here.
That or looked up where I need to go.
Exactly.
Not, hey, I have this on my
You
phone.
can pull up Google Maps and be like, I'm going right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just take a right in 200 feet.
You
Turn right.
You passed the big red pine or big road. You've gone too far.
Please make a U-turn.
Dumb ass. Oh Lord.
Back to the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, what would we start with? Whiskey.
Uh,
Oh yeah. Did you like ice cubes?
Yes. And
Wow,
Facebook video.
We moved quickly.
I've learned that through the Facebook video that it is better to drink it on ice, but it has to be a cube like this because then the water actually does something to the bourbon or whiskey, to your choice, to where it actually exfoliates. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it sounds right.
Sounds like something with your skin.
But it could also be like
Just continue, yeah.
whatever the taste, like it enhances the taste when there's a little bit of water in it. Because I used to think drinking it on rocks was
Sacrilege because it get watered down and you're not
Correct.
getting the full flavor.
Correct.
Which I guess to a point is if you got a thing full of ice and
Like,
and
just
an
like-
ounce of whiskey and it melts, then yeah, you're
Yeah.
drinking watered down.
Right.
You're
But
drinking water flavored.
correct. But if you have a cube, as you do or
Yeah.
as we do here, it tastes a lot better because then it's also chilled.
Yeah, I agree. I like it chilled. I'm not a huge fan of room temperature or anything. Drink wise.
I can do things like bourbon and whiskey room temp, but anything else other than that, no.
I can do it. I don't prefer it.
Well, I don't.
Does it
know
also
who
need to be a
does.
big ice cube so it doesn't melt as quickly? Where I feel like a smaller ice cube
Will-
surrounded completely by the whiskey is going to melt super quickly and you're going to get watered down way too quickly.
Correct.
Whereas a bigger ice cube, it's kind of a slow burn,
Yes. Slow melt.
slow melt. That's a better way to put it.
Probably. Not
But I guess it
necessarily,
is burning off.
I mean, it's also burning your throat.
You get what I'm saying.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Hey, you want to go to a Packer game?
Yeah, when?
I don't know. Maybe I just give the season tickets to you and your fiance as a gift.
I mean, hey, that'd be one hell of a
You guys
gift.
can go watch Jordan Love play. These
Right.
3 episodes in a row. I've talked about Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers. We don't need to get into that.
I mean, I can, but I just feel like there's so much else to talk about because
So much more.
I haven't.
ESPN's covered enough of it.
Yes, they have, and so is the media and every other.
It's
Packer
blown
fan.
way out of proportion. Way out of proportion.
So
I'm
I
gonna look
was
at this bottle while you're talking.
I was thinking of on my way over here. The last time I saw you, or pretty much the last times we've been in contact. The last time I saw you, I'm pretty sure was last year when we went golfing
Yep.
with Sam and Evan.
Yep.
And then the time before that was at the Umbrella Bar, was when Sam, because then this was when you were telling me that you were going to pursue your comedy career
Yeah.
or something like that. So
Yeah.
within these past 2 years, we've only seen each other twice.
Is that true?
Yes.
I haven't seen, I guess, to be honest, not that I've been like a stickler I haven't been a stickler at all during this pandemic when it comes to like distancing. Like I am one of the poster children of what not to do during a pandemic.
Pretty sure you're just a poster child of what not to do in life.
No, I'm having fun.
That's all that matters then.
But I think kind of when it hit and people did take it seriously right away, I didn't hang out with a lot of different people. I kind of just, I guess like a group just kind of formed and we just, this is who
Right,
we're with.
stuck together.
And then it was like a good way. It was like 10, 12 people.
Yeah.
But in my head's like, oh, I'm only seeing these 12 people. I am still being okay. Which is not true because those 12 people go
Can
see
be-
12 people or whatever.
Right, and then
but
you
like
have
that's,
your
I mean,
domino effect.
there are a lot of people that I hadn't seen in forever. Like my buddy Connor from Madison, I just saw him for the first time in over a year 2 weekends ago. And he's one of my best friends in college. I finally was like going down to Denver and went and saw him, hung out with Cody. I mean, I figured I had to after she got it tattooed on her fucking ankle, but
Yeah. I mean, that's dedication right there.
I like the little tuxedo it has on kind of thing.
Yeah, it's classy.
It is classy. Is that wood around it?
No, it's
It's
copper.
no, this part. This part's wood.
Oh,
That's just like, I'm all for good presentation. I like the aesthetic. However, that's just got to be a bitch to do. Because that is some, I just touched it and it cracked. Like, that's got to, I mean, feel that.
well, I felt it on the way here.
But you just said it was copper.
This part I'm talking
Oh,
about.
no shit, Sherlock.
That's what you pointed to.
No, I was touching the
This
wood.
part. Okay. Yeah. This is
That has to be a bitch to put on.
well, they have machines. I'm sure that they wrap this because there's no way someone's going to be
Can you imagine if that was your job? What do you do for a living? I wrap really thin wood around Basil Hayden bottles.
And then I put a screw or a nail.
Yeah, how is that on?
in
Oh,
it.
that has to be. Dude, I don't know.
I mean, I don't
It's
think
impressive. I like the aesthetic.
I
You
don't think it's
definitely-
even on there. Like I think it's just like on the outside. It's not.
Oh
actually
yeah.
pressed.
Do you try new whiskeys often?
I try to.
Do you buy them off the look of the bottle?
You have to
You have to.
because there's no other way unless if you're like
I don't know
I'm not-
too much about it where I can be like, oh, this wood soaked, charred, cherry broiled.
right. I don't have a taste bud. Like I don't have a taste palate that I can taste like a hickory smoked whatever in the batch.
No, I can
I
tell the
just
difference between some of them.
I can tell the difference, but I mean, when you drink it, and as you stated earlier, your first two sips, you're not
You're
going
like,
for taste.
holy fuck!
You're
My first
trying
two
to
sips,
you're
like,
trying to get through to enjoy it.
my first two sips are: is this smooth or is this gonna hurt right away? And
Well, I
it's
mean, in most cases, it's gonna hurt.
exactly. And then after that, you're like, oh, I kind of
But-
like this.
yeah.
But you're never. I almost kind of. I can semi taste certain things sometimes. Like if it's so overpowering.
I can't. I don't have a taste palate of that.
But I'm not. But that I mean, like if it was like a maple flavored thing or whatever, like
but maple overpowers everything.
yeah, the people who are like this tastes like a hickory tree, or I can taste the peel of an apple. I'm like, go fuck yourself. There's not a chance in hell. You're like, I got all of that out of this little sip.
From this little sip.
That's also watered down with this ice cube.
correct.
You know what I got? I got a little bit of water and a lot of bit of burn.
That's
and I like it.
That's what bourbon is.
That's what I like it. Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am the same way with wine. I did one wine tasting, and in Napa too, where it was like super nice place. My buddy's family took us, and like swirled around, smell it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wine. And they did the
Ooh.
same bottle in a different glass. Like, can you taste the difference? I'm like, no. Can I have another breadstick?
Well, I mean, was it from Olive Garden?
Yeah, I was doing the wine tasting at Olive Garden in Napa. I bet you that Olive Garden's got pretty good wine.
Dude, those Olive Garden breadsticks slap though.
But are you an Olive Garden breadstick or a Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit
I
guy?
hate that question because it's so hard. I honestly have to go to the Cheddar Bay biscuits.
I think I'm going Cheddar Bay biscuits
you
too.
have to.
They're so good.
It's so
good.
it's
So light. So light.
it's so light. It's so fluffy, and I'm gonna say the word moist.
Yeah. I think I can eat more of them too because the meal that's accompanying it isn't
It's
also
lighter.
all carbs. It's
Correct.
lighter. So it's seafood. It's kind of just like it's water protein.
Yeah,
Protein of the water. And maybe maybe you get like shrimp scampi so you have some noodles.
right.
But it's not Olive Garden where it's like, oh, we started with soup, a really thick, creamy soup like a bisque.
Yep.
Then I had this pasta dish that could feed a family of 12
Hey,
and a salad
Can't beat the
and a
prices, though.
salad that has half a wedge of Parmesan on it. No wonder they let you do endless breadsticks. You're going to have 3 and you're like, good Lord, I'm going to pop.
yeah. I think that plays a big difference into it with the meal that's accompanied it.
Well, and they know that. Like,
Right.
it's a meal you're super full. That's why they even let you, like, do you guys want to take a few home? Like,
Yeah.
That's the other thing, too. Like,
And then
you
they
get
give you
that
the
full.
chocolate. Then
Yeah.
they give you the chocolate
The
mints.
Andes candies.
Yep.
Those are so good. I wish those were bigger. I feel like you could get bigger ones.
They have to make bigger ones.
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. Maybe because
I'll get
maybe
you one
it's,
for your birthday.
maybe it's like
How long do I
you
have
know how
until
things
your
are like
birthday?
slightly salty or just sugary, like kettle corn is
Yeah.
just sugary enough that you're like, I really
Kettle
like
corn
this.
Sugary?
Yeah,
Isn't kettle corn salty?
kettle corn's sweet. sweet and salty, but it's just sweet enough. They're like, I kind of want more. Like I didn't get enough sweet. Like a piece of candy, you're like you have a piece of candy like a Snicker bar, like I'm sugared out, like I'm good, but it was just sweet enough that like give me more. See, than you keep eating them. And
I
eating
have
them,
that
eating
with
them.
like chips, because it's salty for me. I mean, chips are salty.
Yeah.
But like you get that saltiness, and like you drink whatever you drink, and then you just keep going, and then next thing you know, you're at the bottom of the bag. You're like, where'd that bag go?
Yeah, it was that was a fresh sip right there.
I'll put some hair in your chest.
Well, that's I don't need any more hair on my chest. But that's why like when you go to a bar, food is like fries tend to be saltier. It's saltier, fattier foods because they make you thirstier.
Right.
I mean, it's not exactly why like they're
Makes
serving
sense.
food because people want to eat food while they're drinking.
It's very encouraged.
But like
also
when
to
you
eat
drink,
food
you
too.
get hungry. You get hungry. You get thirsty, and it's just like all of a
Never-ending
sudden
cycle.
it's like I have a $200 bill.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
Like wow, I came here for one beer and a thing of fries.
That never happens.
Never. Oh, I did it last night. I went to.
You had one beer.
Yeah, not the whole night, but at a restaurant. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm talking. So.
Yo, what are you talking about?
Well, I'll let you go with your story. And
Well, it's
then
not really a story. Like after
Well, I'm just
Braxton and I
saying.
recorded last night, and then we went to Point Burger Bar just down the street.
Yep.
Got apps and a beer, and we each had a beer and we left. I'm like, that was actually kind of perfect.
That's respectable enough to where, I mean, I can do a beer for dinner or like a meal. I'm saying more so when my girlfriend says, I'm going there just for a drink. Come out. Like, we'll just stay.
It's never just.
We'll just stay for one drink. I always follow that up with, it's never one drink.
Yeah.
I know I'll be there for the next 3 hours.
And it'll be like 6, and I'm gonna be a little buzzed coming home.
And then she never wants to leave.
Yeah, that was tough for me last night having to leave the bar. Like everyone's like, let's have a good night, blah blah blah. I'm like, I gotta be up at 6. I gotta
What'd
drive
you
to
do
cut.
today?
I had a.
Oh, you had lacrosse.
Yeah, so thankfully the games were overlapping, so I could just pick one of the teams. There were technically 6 games that happened today. I only had to coach 3, but they were in Kettle Moraine, so it's 30 minutes away.
Who are you coaching?
Franklin.
Oh, high school?
The youth, so the
Oh,
club. So like what we started. So it's kind of cool. And so I was like, yeah, they're all like, do you want another drink? You want another drink? I'm like, no, I need to drive. Like, I'm never the person. I'm usually like your girlfriend. I'm like, why do we need it?
Why
Like
are
let's
we
have
here?
as much fun as we can. Like, who cares? Like, do you really have anything to do tomorrow? And I finally had an answer to that question. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I had 2 beers there, and
It's tough being
I just
responsible.
left. Yeah, that might be one of the more responsible things I've done.
It's tough being responsible and growing older. Thinking like now for me when I drink, I mean, I guess I can't really say that because when I drink, I don't really get hungover.
I don't either. Hell yes.
I can, and Andrea is
Probably the worst hangovers in the world.
killing
Yeah.
the next day. So I'm always trying to not drink as much because I also know I have to take care of Andrea and look after her, and then also like I have to get us home.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm out with her friends, I let her have all the fun, but also in the same sense, I want to go.
Yeah.
When I want to go, I want to go. Like,
Oh yeah.
and
When you're not having fun, the worst thing to do is be like, fuck. I
but
have
it's
to
not
be
even that. I'll sit there because it's usually at the bar, and I'll watch whatever Sports Center rerun is on, and for my time for filling whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to her friends and all that is, but it's like more so around like 1-2 o'clock area in the morning.
Good God, yeah. I'd be like, let's fucking go. If you're sober, 2 o'clock in the morning is the worst hour to be sober.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm not fully sober
Yeah.
during this time either. I'm below my limit.
Yeah.
I know I'm below my limit because I'm like, I know I have to drive home. I know where I can, what I can't do. Like, I know that enough. But it's just, and then you see her like, just like going, and you're like, damn, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I can't. I could. We can Uber home.
But then I got to Uber back to get my car.
Then that is just a big ass headache.
That's the last thing you want to do is when you get up in the morning, have to go do something right away.
Yep.
Which is something I recommend people who do get hungover. is if you want to not necessarily get rid of it, but if you want it to be,
You got a bigger ice cube?
I'll go get you one in a second. I'll text Andrew. He'll
Yeah.
bring him down.
He needs to make another guest appearance.
Yep.
Jesus.
My recommendation for people who do get hungover is
5 already?
dude, this goes quick. This could it's fun and enjoyable. Like I have to cut us off at like an hour and a half because I just don't want to edit it.
I mean,
Like, it sucks. We can still hang out. We'll just turn these off.
well, that's what I was saying. Like between you and
I'm not gonna kick you out.
I don't
though.
know like with what your other guests are, but like you and I, we could just talk.
Oh yeah, no, all of them. I'm like, I'll get to a point where I'll look at this
And you're
and
like,
I'll be like, okay. If I go over an hour, I'm like, I'll watch it a little more. Like the beginning, I'm not watching now. We still have like probably 15 minutes before we hit an hour.
Okay.
And
this does go quick though.
so quick, yeah. Like it feels like we've been talking for 20 minutes. It's been
does,
45.
I know.
Why do you think like those Joe Rogan ones go 4 hours? When you're actually talking to someone who has like legit things to, not that we don't have legit things to talk about, but people who study a certain thing and they're so passionate about it.
Yep.
No shit, those episodes are 3 hours long.
Yep.
Some people hate that. I like it.
I've never personally listened to the podcast Joe Rogan's, but I know who Joe Rogan is.
Yeah.
I know like what he did and what he does now.
Yeah.
But I've just never listened to one. But I can just imagine.
It's like we'll have like guys who are quote unquote experts on UFOs, aliens, people who lost civilizations, doctors, and like whatever mood. I like it, and I didn't get into it till my last semester of college, and then I'm gonna circle back to my advice to people get hungover.
Yes. Drink water.
But not even that. Yeah, drink water, sleep, smoke before you go to bed.
Or smoke in the morning.
True, but yeah, just everyone, whatever mood you're in. Like I kind of want to hear about aliens today.
I wanna know
and it's
it.
someone who's like a quote unquote expert. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I don't want it to end.
I mean, it helps also when Joe just gets absolutely baked and toasted out of his mind that he can just take all this information in and just stare at him like,
oh yeah.
oh, yeah,
But you know he doesn't do that
dude.
every episode, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But that would be amazing if he did.
That's like once in a while he's like not trash, but like there's like two or three people. I'm pretty sure he'll get baked on. They wear like
But I feel like when you talk
astronaut
about
suits. Yeah.
when I feel like you talk about aliens,
I love talking about aliens.
Dude, outer space.
I love talking about aliens.
outer space and deep sea, like the fact that we haven't explored X amount or X percentage of our sea, we have no idea what's living below us.
Bro, actually, I talk about this on Tending a List. Deep sea is way scarier than outer space to me.
I thought you guys were done with tending a list.
We are.
That's what I
But
thought.
like in one of the episodes, we
Oh,
talked about
right.
like what's scarier, deep sea or deep space, and we're both like deep sea, because it's a possibility for us. I could tomorrow go be in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, space. Is
Tomorrow,
gonna
I
take you-
cannot be in the middle of space.
True.
And I don't know anything that's in that. I mean, that's so scary. Like I could be in it and I still can't see. The water could be here. I'm like, I can't see down.
Right.
I don't like that.
I mean, I would contest deep or outer space, deep space, just because it's infinite. When you have the sea, you know you're gonna hit bottom at one point or like discover.
Oh, you'll never know. You're not gonna make it to the bottom.
Well,
yeah.
you have to.
Well, yeah, but you won't be alive.
That's not the point. But
Well, then I mean, but like then you never
essentially-
actually hit the bottom.
but I'm
do you?
saying like essentially you're going to run out of room to explore.
True.
The space, infinite. You have no idea. I mean, how many galaxies and all that other.
See,
stuff.
to me that's more interesting rather than scary.
Okay, that's fair.
It's to me because it's scary. The water is scary because we've been here for so long,
And we still don't
so
know.
many people, and we still have no fucking clue.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we have access to it. We don't have access to everything up, out, wherever.
That's fair. That's valid. So
Those of you who get hungover, just get up and do something. Dead serious. Just wow, that just popped back into my head.
how
But
do you get up and do something though?
Like-
That's the last thing you want to do.
I know that's the point. So if you get up and just wallow in your self-pity, it just amplifies that you feel. All you do is if you're thinking about headache, if you're thinking about throwing up, it's like people who can talk like I can, talk yourself into getting sick, or you talk yourself like you WebMD yourself. You're like, oh my God, I have fucking kidney failure. It's like, no, you broke a nail.
I didn't even get to talk about this.
Oh, we will. That's gross. I don't like that. Put that away. But if you could just get up and go do something, it doesn't have to be workout. Like if you're hungover, get up, make breakfast if you can eat, or get up, go
If you can
grocery
eat.
shopping. Go grocery shopping. Go get food that you know you're gonna want later. If you get up and just start moving and you're not thinking that like you're hungover, it definitely decreases like the intensity of it because
Sure.
you're not thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
If you just get up, if you go to bed thinking I'm gonna hate myself in the morning, you're definitely gonna wake up hating yourself.
But
in the
are you
morning.
hating yourself in the morning for how much you drank or for possibly what you've done that night?
It could be both.
Because I feel like,
Then definitely take your mind off what you did last night and go do a workout class.
well,
Throw up all your demons.
yeah.
I hate throwing up,
I
but love it at the same time.
can't tell you the last time I threw up.
I can. Kind of. I dry heaved because there was nothing in me. It was just my body being like, dude, you did something wrong. We think something should leave, but there's nothing in you.
We got to get something out. Something's got to go.
Like if it's like just the dead air that's inside you, it's coming out. And I just sat, I'm like, oh. It was
yeah.
it's like 3 months ago.
And I'm a compulsive vomiter. So, like,
Explain that one.
if I hear or see you throw up,
Oh, okay. You'll do it too.
I have a weak stomach for that. I have a strong stomach for most things.
So it's like a domino effect for you.
Correct.
Hear it, you gag. Like if you hear someone gag, you're like, oh, as well. I can kind of.
So, like, when I was with roommates and I would hear them in the bathroom, I would have to close. Well, I wouldn't even have to close my door. I would leave. Like, leave my apartment because I couldn't stand or hear, listen, or anything
Now, is it
of
when
what
you're
was going on.
also like? I'm guessing they're throwing up because they're drunk. So you're
Yes.
also drunk. So
I was
you
also
know.
hungover.
So okay. So you're like that's a possibility.
Well, like,
for
not
me.
hungover, but like I was drinking the night before.
Yeah. So you're like that could have been that could be a possibility for me,
Could be me.
but it's not.
It's not.
We don't want it to be me.
I don't want it to be me, but also just like if someone for whatever reason like has a stomach bug.
Yeah.
Wee, wee.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, it's part of the appeal to this.
It definitely is. But like if someone has a stomach bug and just for whatever reason is just hurling in the bathroom because they're sick. If I walk by that bathroom, like just happen to walk by, and I hear, like I will.
Even if you're sober and didn't eat what they eat.
Even if I sober,
See that one? If
I can't do puke. I can't.
if someone had someone else and you and I ate the same food, and then you started throwing up, and you're like, it's definitely because of the tacos we just ate, and I heard you throw up, I would then start talking myself into like, you ate bad food
Speaking
too,
into
you're gonna start yeah.
speaking into
But
existence.
if you had tacos and I had like Chick-fil-A, and I heard you throw up, I'd be like, oh, sucks for you. Like I wouldn't care. I would honestly think it's funny.
well, as you should.
Yeah.
Well, so segue again.
Yeah.
When for my friends, and I think this is for most guys, whenever we get hurt, it's funny at first, but then you always have to like make sure it's okay, like they're okay. Like when
It's
someone,
oh fuck.
yeah, it's like are you okay? You're good.
Okay,
you're
yeah.
good. It's funny, but
Yeah.
like if they're like a little bit more injured, you're like, well, that
Then it's
takes the funny away from it.
Yeah. Do you think I don't think we overreact. Like if we notice it's serious, we're like, I guess sometimes we can overreact.
I think it's the initial reaction is to laugh it off
Yeah.
because you don't want to know what happened exactly. Like you don't want to assume the worst.
Exactly, yeah.
And then once you realize what it is, it's snap into action. Like whatever needs to happen happens. Like we need to get
True. Like
that shit done.
like in action, let's go hospital. I mean, it could be I think that's where I would say an overreaction could be like if we know it's not laughable, but we don't know what it is, like it's semi-serious, we could be like, oh, you have a broken toe, get him to the ER now.
Right.
Whereas like we could have just like get in the car, go to a walk-in kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like we'll take you to the ER with a broken toe or like a lacerated neck, like either one where
It's
you get my
yeah. But you're like, Lasser, are you sure?
you sure? I mean, it doesn't seem that. I mean, you're only gushing.
I mean, I guess that's what I can say about.
Yeah, let's talk about
So,
the
yeah.
hole in your thumb. Can I?
Well,
okay,
it's
I gotta
not-
see it again.
It's not a hole, but
It looks like a drill bit went through your thumb.
can I show you camera?
Oh, good lord, yeah.
I
I
mean-
have to see it. I have to see it.
I'm
Oh yeah. Oh, I thought you said, "Can I show you on the camera?" Like you had something that had like.
Oh, no.
No.
I mean, I do have pictures of it though.
I don't even think that'll do it justice.
Well, so I'm living with my girlfriend. So we moved into house in South Milwaukee.
Okay.
Our upstairs, it was an unfinished attic. We turned it and are turning it into a living space where there's another bedroom and then there's another hangout space where I'm putting my bar, TV, like where pretty much I'm gonna hang out whenever I have friends over and all that.
The
other
attic.
stuff. Yeah, the attic. But it's not like a dingy attic. Like it looks really nice. Like I'll have you over because we're planning on having a huge, pretty much welcome event like for us, like housewarming party.
Have you been living in that house for a while?
Well, we have, but
it hasn't like remodeled it completely done
correct.
yet. Okay.
And who wants to have a housewarming party in winter? Because we also have a patio, yard, and
Oh
all this
yeah.
other
Oh
stuff.
for
So
sure.
plan
For
on growing
sure.
up.
For sure.
So I was upstairs with one of my other buddies, and we were putting our floor in. It's laminate floor, so you can cut it with a utility knife. It was on the last row of what we were gonna do for the night, because then we were just gonna go to a bar, and I cut the piece too fat, so I had to trim it down. So what I did stupidly was I spun the piece around and I cut it on the thin side, so I was holding the thin side.
Ooh.
So when I cut it, I cut down, it came out of the flooring and caught the rest of my finger.
What were you cutting it with?
Utility knife.
A utility knife?
And
must have missed that part, but yeah.
And it was a fresh blade too, because her dad,
Those are sharp as fuck.
so I didn't feel it go through. So, but her dad's a carpenter who I wasn't doing this with, but he always stressed to me whenever you're working with the utility knife, make sure it's a fresh, like sharp blade, so it cuts easier. It cut pretty easy. So when this happened, I immediately, I felt it, go through, I dropped my knife, I squeezed my thumb. Because I didn't look. Or how bad.
I wouldn't want to.
I didn't know if I just got it on the side, top, a little cut or whatever.
That's when you come out of shock is when you see it.
Well, I'm not at that point yet. So I went like this just to see how bad it was, and it squirted a little bit. So then I stuck my thumb in my mouth because that was my immediate reaction because I didn't have anything to.
Yeah.
I don't have a towel or anything. So I stuck it in my mouth, and then my buddy Austin got a towel, handed it to me. Put the towel over my thumb, and then went downstairs. Andrew was downstairs. I was like, "You need to take a look at this. I think we might need to go to the hospital." And
it squirted blood. I would have been at the hospital already.
Well, the thing was, as we're walking down the steps, my friend goes, "You got any bandages?" I was like, I know I have bandages, but again, I don't know how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yes, you can squirt blood. I don't know how bad it is. Went into then my car, to which I thought I had some butterfly stitches,
Okay.
that I could possibly put on.
Oh, nail.
Yeah, that I could possibly put on, and didn't find my first aid kit. So then we went into the house, and that's when we were all right, how bad is it?
Yeah.
Is this a haha or a oh shit?
You lacerated your neck. Get into the hospital.
Yeah, we gotta go. So while
I got a text from our Ice Cube. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
So while the cloth was on, I kind of peeled it off, and it was stuck then to the blood on the one side of the thumb. So that's when the cloth came off and the thumb kind of peeled apart.
Oh.
That is when I came out of my adrenaline
You
rush.
watched your thumb just open up?
A little bit. This part right here that's on the top part.
That's when I just do this and pass the fuck out.
As soon as I saw that, because I saw through with what I know I shouldn't see, as far as inside, and I have pictures if you want to see that later.
I do, but I don't. I do, but I don't.
That's fair.
Did you see bone?
Didn't see bone. Missed the bone. So that was the best part, that I missed the bone. But I saw that, and that's immediately when my head started to go fuzzy. Because I was like, boom. My body now realized what happened, because now my adrenaline's gone. I mean, it's still there, but it's
Oh, your thumb throbbing then?
It was, yeah. And then that's when my head started to go fuzzy. I was like, I need to sit down because I'm about to pass out. So then sat down, and then trying to get to the car, I was just drunk, stumbling in and out, hitting our fridge, hitting our wall, trying to get into the car. By the time I got into the car, maybe we went to the Cudahy ER, which was maybe 7 minutes away, which is good. But by the time I got into the car, then I was like, okay, everything's happening. Like, you understand what's happening. It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
Ice delivery.
Right on time.
Right on time.
It doesn't hurt, but I know things are bad.
Thanks, buddy.
All of them?
Thanks,
No,
man.
You're good. Thanks. Appreciate it. We'll let you know if we need anything else.
Thank you, sir.
We'll just leave those there.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna melt.
So I got to the hospital then. 6 stitches later.
I was gonna ask.
Sewed
You,
it
like,
up.
stitches
Yep,
or they glued
stitches.
it or
So they
stapled it?
stitched it, and then they put some numbing agency like right on the base of my thumb, which hurt the most
Really?
because those needles were so like it killed.
Oh, I
With
know
a
exactly.
needle.
I got a story kind of like this.
And
but
then
yeah.
the doctor started like moving this gel, and I can feel it around my thumb. So he like went around the bone to numb all the
Yeah.
nerve endings up there. And then she came back and cleaned it, and I was like, should I feel you squirting water on my thumb? She goes, no. So the doctor came back in, numbed me even more, which hurt even more, because then this time he went on this side, which is what that little mark is,
Yeah.
and he got like right on my bone.
This is a needle going in?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So like right on my bone. So now at first I would like rotate my hand. I can feel like a shooting pain like all up through my forearm and through my thumb. But now it's like it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But that part hurt the most, other than like.
Obviously, the knife going through your fucking thumb.
I didn't feel it though.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies, like, I didn't think of it at this point, but my thumbnail probably saved most of my finger.
True. Yeah.
Because I mean, I was like, damn, that like.
That went deep into your thumb.
It went
if
pretty
your thumbnail's that gone. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, people can't see. Like, the entire. You probably have 80% of your thumbnail.
I
65?
would say 65 to 70 is more
Yeah.
accurate.
Dude, adrenaline's a hell of a drug.
It is.
Because I mean,
And it snaps in.
like right away, like
Right
your
away.
body knows, like, hey, you don't want to feel this.
You have
You
better,
might do some dumb shit real quick, but you don't want to feel what
you have
should
more
be feeling.
priorities that you should be dealing with right
Exactly. I think it's going into high school. I hit my buddy with a pillow. It was basically like I split my head open over a pillow fight kind of thing. And he grabbed me and my head like this.
now. Oh, I thought you meant like you busted
No,
your
not
head
with a
from a
not
pillow.
from a pillow. But like he grabbed me like over like this, so my head is down, and he just falls backwards into the couch, and the metal frame of the couch, like right underneath the cushion where you sit, is where my head hits, and I'm like, I mean, I go right at it, like concussed, 5 sure, like 100%, like, and I come up, I'm like, holy shit, and one of the other guys that were with goes, holy shit, you have a gash in your head. I go, what? And plenty of forehead. I go straight into my fucking hole. I go, what? And my finger goes in slightly. I missed my skull, I'm pretty sure, by like that much.
Shit.
And my finger goes in, and all that came out of my mouth was, get your mom, get your mom, get your mom, get your mom, get your mom. I ran up to their parents' bedroom. I just freaked the fuck out. I'm just like, I think I have a headache and whatnot. I don't feel it really. My mom gets called. I don't really feel it. I'm still in shock. I then waited in the emergency room for like 2 to 3 hours. They're like, what's your emergency? I took the ice pack off. I'm like, I have a hole in my head. They go,
Hello?
go sit in the waiting room. But I'm like, are you serious?
You'll be fine.
Which is also like kind of crazy. Like, you're going to be fine kind of thing. Because it was just like, it wasn't like, because think about it, like between your skin and your skull isn't that much.
Right.
But it's split open.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I have a hole in my head. Like, I'm going to not die. But I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until, like, I don't think I ever really came out of shock. And I never felt my head split open. It bleeded all.
It's incredible what adrenaline is.
But speaking to your numbing thing, I remember, because usually when you get numbed, especially when you have, like oral surgery, you kind of can feel the pressure.
I had my wisdom teeth out, and same thing.
I just got them out. They're like, you can feel the pressure. I could smell the drill burning on my teeth because they were impacted and they have to break them apart.
Yep.
Which is real alarming. Like, you're like, I should not smell burning inside my mouth.
I should not be feeling this.
Should not be smelling burning from inside
Or
of my
hearing
body.
it. Like,
yeah.
Because, I mean, people go, like,
When you hear a drill and then it goes in, yeah, it's crazy.
People go under, but I just, like,
I got the
just
gas. I got
yeah.
the gas. But yeah, they numb me, and I mean, it didn't hurt that bad, but when they started like the last couple stitches, I'm like, you definitely didn't numb me enough.
Same.
Because I'm like, I felt like that was more than pressure.
Same.
Like that was a poke.
And I was
you
like,
are in my head right now.
But I mean, huge difference between forehead and thumb with being where it is. But I was like,
I shouldn't
like,
feel that
through,
prick.
Through these last stitches, I was like,
It was kind of like you were getting a shot. Kind of. Yeah.
But I didn't want him to come back and numb me because
Yeah.
I was more
That was
afraid
even
of that.
worse.
And so that's why I didn't want to.
But tough.
So, and then.
To doctors, like, credit though, I mean, they don't know how much you're numbed.
Correct.
I mean, it's not like, all right, they can feel what you can't feel.
Well, and then also, like, what else could you possibly be on if you were not, like, not to assume that you're not sober.
Yeah.
I was not. I wasn't drunk, but we had 2 beers while we were putting the floor down.
Yeah.
You're just going back
I
and
was
forth.
in 8th grade, so I was definitely sober.
Well, you definitely could have been.
Yeah.
But I mean, to people's, and then pain tolerance too.
Yeah.
He has no idea what your pain tolerance is. But then I was like expecting like some like hard stuff to like numb the pain. He goes, "Here's a antibiotic, and take some Tylenol when you get home." I look at my thumb. It's like, that's all that this is worth. And he
You're
goes,
like, hey, dude,
he's like,
this thing looks like it's about to fall off.
and he's like, "Yeah, otherwise you'll be good." I was like, "All right, sweet." So, and then, well, the worst part about then that was my first few days, I had a cast put on my thumb
Really?
across the full thumb forearm,
Like that, like white plastic
Like,
one with
yep.
like.
half a
Whatever
forearm,
wraps.
and then they wrapped it. And so just the mobility of that. The first night I tried to have salsa and chips and salsa,
Yeah.
couldn't open the salsa can or the container
Not even with your other hand.
because, well, when I would go like
You
this,
hold it. You don't have a
it
lot
would
of
just
pressure.
it would
Yeah.
just churn.
That is true because like you're here and just even doing this, I felt uncomfortable.
Yep. And so then Andrea got home and she saw the salsa on the counter and she goes, "Why is the salsa on the counter?" And I was like,
Well, I can't open it.
I wanted salsa and chips, but I only had chips. Couldn't open the salsa. She goes, "Do you want me to open it?" I was like,
It's too late now.
"Yeah, it's a little late now." So
I had the entire bag of chips. They were salty.
yes, it's terrible how that.
Dude, that's unfortunate. I mean, how long ago was that?
This was, I think this is going on 3 weeks.
Well, that's healed decently well then.
It has. And I mean, just the fact that on this past Wednesday I played softball, didn't feel anything, like any
It's
pain
gonna
with
be a
it.
nasty scab.
Yeah.
Like
And
that's
then
one. Like I definitely picked scabs when I was younger.
That's my-
You cannot pick that
that's
one
my
off.
hardest thing to do right now.
And it's right there. It's on your picking thumb too.
Well, so this I can like peel back a little bit.
Don't. Not in
And
front
I
of
don't
me.
want to. But then also this part, this is like kind of like excess skin. So I can also like kind of like flip this, but not much because it's still hard. But I want it to all to heal. So that is my biggest thing.
And you want it to heal cleanly too.
Because with mosquito bites, I scratch the shit out of mosquito bites
Yeah.
and then it scab. I don't know why, but I find it, I want to say entertaining. Satisfying to pick then like that scabbed mosquito bite and let it bleed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you're not alone. You are not alone. Like even if I got like I fell on my bike and you get a scab on your knee and you kind of like doing this and it's like you just peel
Once it starts, you have to like finish it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point of like being halfway and just trying to put it down.
Yeah, like oh no, it's just like a flap in the
Yep,
wind. You're
and then-
running and you
that's
feel it.
the
You're like,
worst
just
part.
rip it the fuck off.
That's the worst part. Like when it's just like just sticks up and you're like, do I rip it or do I try pushing it down? So I try to push it down a few times and then it
Which
just
also,
gets,
once you bring it off, it's not doing anything.
and then it gets worse. So then at that point, I'm just like,
I've been the person who is like I've had a scab like the size of a silver dollar or whatever, and you like peel it all but like to where it's hanging by a thread, and I go, it's not off, it's still healing.
Yep.
I'm like, no, Michael, it's off.
nope, now it's off.
I'm like, no, it's still there. And I'm like, no, that's definitely off.
And you're like,
You might
maybe
as
it's
well just
gonna,
get it off.
maybe if I put it back down, it will like reattach
If-
to the
if any-
skin or something like
If
that.
anything, you're impeding it from healing again.
Yep. And you
Just
you,
rip it.
You just get to do
Literally
it over
rip
and
the
over
Band-Aid
again.
off. Just get it off. If you were to guess what time we're at, what do you think we're at?
I'm going to probably say like an hour, because it's been longer than 15 minutes when I last looked. I'd probably say like we're an hour 10, hour 15.
We are 59 minutes and 40 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think once
this part didn't go as like quick as I thought.
once you mention a time, it's like, oh, the last little bit's gonna take longer.
Well, it's just like
feels
when,
longer.
it's just like when you look at the clock when we were in school and you're like, only 5 minutes went by. Are you shitting me?
No, yeah, it is worse. I was like, holy shit, I only have 30 minutes left. And then you're like,
you're
oh,
just
so class is
waiting,
going quick. Then you think next time you look at the clock, it's going to be as fast. Like,
Yep.
wow, 3 minutes went by. Like,
Yeah.
that was fucking,
Yeah.
that was terrible. That was terrible. I want to get a few teachers. Nah, I really just want Deb Black on here. I think Deb Black would be fun.
Never.
Do you
had him.
remember him?
I remember him. I never had him though, because he was Woods, wasn't he? Like
Yeah.
Woods Construction.
Woods Construction. He'd be fun. He
I
only,
would
has,
have-
he
I
only
would-
has one leg now, so I might have to get him a different chair.
What's wrong with that?
Do you think that's how he would sit?
Depending on how,
I
how
think
his leg is.
This is going to look great.
Sorry,
I think you
Dad.
get here and then maybe hold up like this.
Well, how much of a leg does he have left?
I don't know. I just heard he had some amputation.
Because I mean, if it's like
Just a
full
whole-
leg, he can just
I really want to see.
he could. And I never had him, so I already feel bad for talking
Yeah.
like this. But I mean, if he had like a little nub like up here, he could just like rest it on the stool.
True.
But
It's just kind of hanging off. I got to stop talking. Oh, good Lord. Deb Black, please come on the show.
I would have two teachers that I would want on a podcast with me.
Let me guess. Dreyer
Yep.
and Nerschel.
No, Nedesheim.
Nedesheim.
Nedesheim
Nedesheim would be...
English teacher.
Yeah, I remember Nedesheim.
Yep, Nedward. I called him.
I'm trying to remember other teachers. I mean, Dreyer for sure would be fun.
Dryer would be Dryer would be fantastic.
I don't really know. Like,
But those would be my two teachers that I just had. Or
I do need to, like-
or Thone.
I am looking forward to finally, like, just not doing all Franklin people.
Yeah. So
Which I haven't, to be honest. You are the second one.
and that's just because I texted you.
Yeah, which I like, though. I kind of like that people, like, that the week you texted me, I had, like, 3 other people be like, oh, you should let me on. Like, there's a difference. Either way you were going to come on, it's just a matter of getting to certain people. But the way you said it was like, you're like, I want in. I was like, deal. Done deal. We're making it happen. And one, you also didn't believe me that I actually wanted you on. Like, I legit did.
I mean, I had like a feeling that you would, just because of like what we like our friendship and going back. But I just thought you were too big time for me, Mr. Podcaster in a garage.
Time for my ice cube. Sometimes you have just like a big sip and you're like, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, that's the thing that keeps you on your toes.
I know. I love it. Bourbon's nice because the nice part. Hold on, before I get onto another tangent, what were we just talking about?
Teachers,
Oh, having you on. Oh,
me.
the
Yeah.
difference between the way
How
you
I
ask and other
approached it.
people.
You just have to be assertive when you want to be on a show.
Well, you're just like, I want in, which makes me excited to have you on because you genuinely want to be on
I
and
wanted
think
to
you
be
have
on
stuff you want to talk about versus someone who goes, you should let me on just because I think would be a fun thing to do Saturday night.
I mean, I
like,
thought it was a fun thing
clearly
too,
taking this seriously with
Yeah.
everything here. And so when people are like, I want in, like, oh, I'm going to get something good out of this. And obviously genuinely just enjoy hanging out with you.
Right.
The random people are like, oh, you should let me on. Like, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to let you on because, like, oh, I think it'd be cool if I was on here. I'm like, I don't think it'd be cool if you're on here because, 1, I don't know you. 2, I think you're boring. 3, you definitely suck. And 4, you can't talk for shit.
Well, and then my Andrea's mom asked me, so she was like, well, what are you doing today? Like, what? Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm after golf and going on a podcast. She goes, what are you going to talk about on a podcast?
Literally anything.
I have no fucking idea. Like, that's what I like about this is you have nothing scripted. Like, nothing. It's all about what someone could bring to you. Like, if they've like listened, like, to possibly bring a list or one item on a list and then talk about that. But
I'm getting better at it. The beginning sucked, but
I mean, you just don't know where to start. Like, what do people want to listen to? Like, what do people want to talk about? But when you have other people and you're going through this weekly with different people, everyone brings a different element.
Yeah, and eventually, like what I like having new people is eventually when people have like real serious professions, I'm like I can just talk to you for an hour about you. Like if you were a chef, I would literally just talk about cooking for an hour, and I'd be fine with that.
Oh, by the way, are you employed?
Yes and no and yes, and I'll explain afterwards. But
I was listening to your other tending a lisp with your with your
the sales call
yep.
or the sales.
Yep, with your sales.
Yeah, it's that was hands. I mean, that's a bit for sure. Like it's like a 15-minute bit, but
can imagine
that was the most insane. Not insane 3 days, but just like eye-opening. I never want to do this. And like I hate 90% of the salespeople.
Not to bring that up again, but
no, you're fine. Like it's been long enough. But salespeople, I actually ran into a salesperson. I mean, you run into salespeople all the time. I was in Target, and I was asking like the electronics people for something, and are we in the fucking Hunger Games right now? Did you hear that?
That sounded like an emu.
I heard. Is that like when they do like the? Okay, well, my ADD.
Dude, that sounded like an emu though. I don't even know what sounds emu makes, but that sounded like an emu.
I have no clue what an emu makes. It sounded like they just said emu.
Emu.
We keep doing it. They just keep doing it back.
Like Dory from Finding Nemo trying to speak whale. You don't speak whale.
But where was I? Oh yeah, this sales guy in Target, and I'm like waiting for the lady to get back with what I needed, and I'm watching the sales guy trying to sell. You know the people when you go to like Costco or Sam's Club, they're trying to sell you a service provider or like, do you have Spectrum? Blah blah. It's this guy. Yeah. I haven't seen one of these in Target before. I'm like, this is new, and he gets a hold of this like older lady. It sounds a bad way to put it. He
gets a hold of.
He entraps her. That
like, doesn't sound better either.
He starts talking to her,
That's
and
better.
she falls for it, kind of thing.
That's better.
And he's like doing his spiel, and partly because I've seen it all the time, and now I also know firsthand, like kind of the behind the scenes of just the bullshit of the sales thing, and I knew that it's a lot of it's bullshit. But and there are some very good salesmen, but I'm sitting there and I go, I'm gonna be here long enough waiting where he's gonna get done talking to her and he's gonna come over to me, and I know it, and I was irrationally mad knowing that he might come over.
That's
to me.
what it was.
And I was so mad. I'm like, oh God, here we go. If he comes over to me, I'm like, I'm gonna be a dick. And he didn't deserve what I said. But at the same time, I hate you. Like I don't want to talk to you right now. And if I tell you I'm not interested right away, don't try again.
Right.
So he comes up to me. I go, here we go. I'm sitting next to my cart.
Bring it on.
And he goes, you happy with your cell phone provider? I go, yes, not interested. Thinking, I'm like, I am satisfied, and I'm not interested in what you're about to sell me.
That's all it should be.
He goes, who do you have? I'm like, what? And he goes, how much are you paying for your phone bill? I go, I don't know. And I'm like, he goes, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like look at it. And I just pay it online. It's like auto pay. I should just pay my mom. I just Venmo her, whatever. And
yep.
And he goes, what do you pay for, like, do you have like HBO Max and Disney Plus? I go, I have all of them. He goes, what do you pay for them? I go, they're actually free with my cell phone bill. He goes, who's your cell phone provider? I'm like, we just went over this. I'm like, I have Verizon. He goes, well, that's a really good deal. What kind of, like, do you think do you have Spectrum? I go, I go, listen, I'm not interested. I'm happy with what I have. Whatever you're about to say next, I don't want. I'm not interested. I get what you're doing. Please stop, because this song and dance we're doing, I don't want to do nor have time for.
Right.
So stop. He goes. And then he tried again. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And I find the lady came over with like what I needed. And I go, that's mine. I go, have a nice day, sir. He goes, can I ask you something? I'm like, no. And I walked away. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with you. But right away I was like, listen, whatever you're about to say, don't. I know this dance we're going to do. I don't want to do it. We don't need a tango right now.
Right.
I'm going to step on your feet because I don't like you. All right? Walk away. Go find another poor old lady to entrap. Okay?
To get a hold of.
To talk to bait, hook. I don't know what you want to call it, but go sell Spectrum to someone else, okay? I hate salespeople. I would rather have someone. In my head, it would be more enticing to me if you're like, learn about this. We will educate you on this. If you like it, then we'll sell it to you, kind of thing. Not, hey, do you like Spectrum? Do you want to buy Spectrum? How's Verizon? Do you like Verizon? Do you have HBO Max? How about Disney Plus? Hulu? Netflix? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
But that's so.
it's their job. I get it, but
Correct.
I hate it.
So, catching you up, I am currently unemployed.
Okay.
Got laid off in November
It's unfortunate.
past year. COVID, all that great stuff. But
My God.
that could have been very bad. Yikes!
I'm not even drunk.
Bourbon's hitting them. But it was. I love that sound also. Just the cork.
Andrew's walking by, just flipping me the bird. As you said that, I literally was about to come out of my mouth. I go, nothing's better than a cork top to a bottle. It just sounds and feels like what's inside was well made, handcrafted, and it's gonna get you properly messed up.
So we are great at segues.
I'm so excited.
Well-
I feel like I'm gonna get drunk tonight.
Quick one. So the reason also why I brought
Can I come
this.
pick up the ring with you?
Do you want to?
Part of me says yes. Part of me says no.
I mean, I don't care.
Do you need more?
No, I'm good.
This might as well just be like an ADD podcast because there has been no two thoughts strung together today.
Which is why, like, the future time, like, to where we just you just put play on the camera and we just go for as long as we want to. I mean, I know this is a headache.
I'll make
for
you do it whenever you want.
on editing at least.
Whenever you want, and like that might be one where maybe just for our bank, I'll just put one camera up.
Yeah,
We'll sit
that's
here.
all you really have to do. Because
We could do it.
Yeah.
We can go as long as you want. I mean, I have a few 2-hour ones with Braxton, and I mean, just it shows. Like, I mean, I don't have a Joe Rogan listening thing where people are gonna listen to two fucking idiots in their mom's garage talk. But yeah, we can definitely do that. But continue.
I mean,
Sorry.
it's just like for the thrill of it, and just to see like how
it's
far
exciting.
we can go.
It's a little nerve wracking when you walk in and you see shit like this.
I was a little nervous coming into it because I was like,
But
I
I'm
don't
a welcoming
I don't know.
guy.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel. Like what are we gonna talk about? Like what are we gonna do?
It's literally everyone's thought.
Yeah.
Which is also why I don't usually tell people I'm recording.
Well, I knew you are.
Yeah.
But Basil Hayden. So quick story. One night, at my house, my girlfriend went to sleep. I don't know, probably about midnight she went to bed. I was probably still up till 4. Okay. She then the next morning told me that she kept hearing the out of it, and the bottle, the Basil Hayden bottle. So for viewers and everything, started at here. So like pretty. I mean, it's still less than halfway, but it's a little pretty full. The bottle ended here.
Yeah, it's a good.
So I drank pretty much the rest of the bottle, but she kept waking up to that sound, and she goes,
She's a light sleeper.
she's a very late sleeper, which is very bad for me because I always stay up late.
Are you in like a ranch? No, because you have a attic.
We have
It's not two stories.
It's a
is it?
single home. Yeah.
Single home, yeah.
Yeah. Single family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 stories, but I'm still downstairs on the main level.
Yeah.
Once I'm upstairs, then I'll be okay to make a little noise, and she won't hear the bottle. But the next morning, she goes, I kept hearing you just go. I was like, I don't even know like how many times I did that. She goes, I probably counted like 5. I was like,
wow, very light. Because I bet you the microphone barely picks it up.
I was like, I had a good night then.
Yeah, by myself. I've never. I guess if I was in my own home, I was playing girlfriend.
I was playing Xbox with friends, so we were
so
drinking.
you're with friends adjacent kind of thing.
Correct. Vicariously.
But I still am not a drink by myself. Granted, I guess technically I drank by myself during this pandemic when I did I was one of those people that did like the Zoom party thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I did Thunderstruck with like people from like 4 different states. It was kind of fun.
That sounds interesting.
It was always depressing though when you're done, you close your computer and you're like, I'm alone.
And you're like, I'm kind of.
And I'm at home. And I'm also hammered.
Do I keep drinking? Do I not keep drinking? I'm not sure.
But yeah, I've had one. and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Just drinking by myself.
I'm learning to do that a lot better.
It's and it wasn't like aggressive drinking. It was it was like sophomore year of college. The Ranch had just come out on Netflix. Like brand new show.
Saw it, or not full seasons, but I've seen Ranch.
I really liked it. And so it's like the cast of that 70s show, and I really like it.
What's your time at?
I'll check in a second.
I just want to make sure for your editing sake.
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
To make it easier on you.
And so I didn't have, like, I think it was like finals week and I was done or something like that. I wasn't going home for like 2 days. So I had nothing going on. I had no homework, whatever. It was a Sunday. Yeah. I had no classes Monday. My roommates all had stuff. So they're all studying in their rooms or like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I just looked in the fridge and I was like, I have like 6 to 8 beers.
See what we can
and
do.
I was like, you know what? Maybe I just, like, I'm going to have a beer. Like, I have like 2 or 3 beers and I'm going to go to bed. And, like, I've never done this before. And I sit on, like, the L couch, the long part, and I lay down and I'm watching. I get into the show. I have, like, a snack, and I have my beers. And I'm just slowly just, like, leaning back, sipping. And I'm like, this is kind of nice. And I'm like, oh, I basically ended up finishing the beers. I had, like, 6 beers. But I just slowly, more and more, got, like, sunk into this couch.
Yep.
And I got so calm. Like, I mean, you couldn't move me. Like, no one could move me. And I watched an entire season of The Ranch, drank a little beer at a normal pace, but like
no one's
fast
you.
enough where I'm buzzed. No one's pushing me. I had a snack. Season ended. I went to bed, woke up. I'm like, I feel great. I go,
we should do this every night.
That's a problem. I have not done it since.
But see, I can't, if I were to drink on my own, like by myself, I could not do beer. My choice is hard
at
stuff.
the time I was 19. I was not drinking.
You're drinking underage.
Oh, bummer.
Oh, goodness.
I made up for all the times I didn't drink in high school, drinking underage in college.
Same.
I did not drink in high school. But yeah,
neither.
At that time.
You didn't go on the camping trip with us, did I? Did you?
No.
Because that was the first time I drank was senior year in high school on a camping trip up in Devil's Lake.
Mine was
with my group at that time.
My first couple times, my first 2 times I was drunk. Fantastic nights. First time I was drunk was off 1 mixed drink. That's all I had. And I felt buzzed for about 2 hours.
You're a cheap date.
50, I mean, not anymore. But
not
like
anymore.
50, it was like a 50-50 vodka Sunny D. That.
When and where? Summerfest?
Summerfest.
Do you remember OAR Summerfest?
Yeah.
It's
a lot of fun. We need to do that again. That lineup just came out. We should go check if they're. You probably already checked, didn't you?
I did not. I'm not that big into like Summerfest. Like I only want to see the bands, like who I want to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I think I've always really been just like I hope there's good music there. I don't like just standing around. Just I like the fact like
Under
where.
the Miller,
I know where everyone's gonna be under the Miller sign.
Miller Lite Oasis.
Oh, good lord.
That's where
Don't
Franklin
get me
hangs
wrong.
out.
I will never complain. Like I had so much fun there, even on those days.
That was my best buzz I've ever been on. Was that night at OAR.
That was in college though, wasn't it?
That was like early college for me and maybe even
It was like my
you.
freshman year, yeah.
Yeah. Where I think that night started with me and my friends drinking in one of my friends' garage, who then we got tattled on that we were drinking in there, so then we had to go find somewhere else. And then that ended up me putting something in a McDonald's cup on the bus on the way down.
You ever gooched anything?
Gooching.
Never.
Gooched vodka on the way. So on the way down.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Jack. I don't know. But it was one of the two. Then we got there. We bought either like a Sprite or a Diet Coke.
And you mixed
split
together.
that. Yep. And then